Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from the Singapore Fintech Festival, and joining me for this segment, we have Jason Powell. He's the program lead for 10 times 1000 Tech for Inclusion, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about, inclusion within the digital asset space. Jason, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Fantastic, thank you, Jill.
A big topic, besides the technical things that we're talking about at SFF, really has been how this particular industry, digital assets and fintech, is really driving inclusivity, not in terms of access to money and cross-border payments, but in terms of what can happen with careers and just making it inclusive and bridging that digital divide.
Talent is one of the key issues that's going to drive any organization in fintech's growth over the next 10 years. And we clearly saw that with COVID-19. Companies have to have a digital-first strategy. Where's that talent going to come from? In Southeast Asia alone, Asia-Pac region, there are estimated to be a 50 million shortage in tech talent going to 2030. So what do we do about that? I think that's the question. Ant Group started 10 times 1000 Tech for Inclusion in 2018 with the IFC. And our mission is to train, as the name entails, 1,000 emerging tech talents and leaders each year for the next 10 years, hence 10 times 1000. But I think we have to be clear about one thing. We can teach about inclusive business models, how to drive technology to solve problems, but we also have to be mindful of the talent. Are we inclusive in talent? Are we inclusive in providing accessibility, providing the optionality for talent in different markets to access this kind of training? And that's what we're all about.
Right, because it's not only fintech companies that need to access the supply of tech talent, it's every vertical, to your point earlier. I mean, whether it's industrial or retail, everyone is doing a digital first strategy.
That's exactly right. And so when you think about fintech, it's not just fintech per se.
Right.
It's really the mom and pops, it's the car sharing companies, it's everyone has a role to play in fintech, including government. And so that's why for us at 10 times 1000, we're opening our doors to different industries. Currently we have over 74 countries as learners, and so we really took a global approach. 2 weeks ago I was in Africa, in Senegal, because we launched our programs in French to make sure that we're accessible to Francophone Africa. We work with partners on this, so we have 40 partners globally that help recruit, provide content, and we also have over 30 lecturers from 13 countries and regions. So the key to this is fintech learning today is not about a single market.
Right.
There's a ton of sharing that needs to happen and is happening. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. We see fintech as happening at different speeds, different characteristics in different markets. There's a lot of cross-learning that can happen, and that's what we're passionate about as well at 10 times 1000.
Give us some examples of the solutions that you're providing. Is it core technical skills, and then the other part of it is you also need the accessibility to get online and have the hardware at your disposal.
Yeah, learning is really interesting over the last few years. It's really changed, right? And COVID has made online learning more normal. Mm-hmm. It was only the only accessible thing over the last few years. But what we're seeing through our learners today is they actually prefer a hybrid of offline and online. Because online you can get case studies from around the world. And so that's what we bring to the table. We have mindset, knowledge, skills. Those are 3 components of what we put on our training platform. Mindset, because it's actually a little bit different. The digital economy requires a different mindset. So how do you understand that? We go into that. Second is knowledge. Blockchain, AI, cloud computing, security. Big topics. A lot of people don't really know what it's about. We get into that. And finally, skills. How do you look at case studies, different CEOs in different markets? What are the lessons you can learn from them? We don't teach coding, but what we teach is how do you think about technology and solve business problems? That's what we're all about.
All right, Jason, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me throughout the day at the Singapore Fintech Festival. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.